This unfortunately is not clickbait. I just want to do my part in keeping you guys up to date. I've made it very clear before that, again, I believe the markets were extremely overbought for no reason. There was no reason that market conditions or overall market should be trading at these levels, especially with what it was that was going on in the Middle East. It made absolute zero sense. Again, it was reported earlier today that 6 B-2 stealth bombers left the U.S. a few hours ago and are now flying across the Pacific Ocean. For those that do not know, this is a B-2 bomber, and these are all the weapons that they were carrying. They were refueled immediately after taking off, indicating that they were carrying a very heavy payload. The payloads could soon be dropped over a place in Fordow in Iran. And it's just insane. So Fordow, I think that's how you pronounce it, in Iran. And then just minutes ago, it says Trump, this is on Truth Social, saying, "We have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow." Isn't that insane? Again, it was literally shared a few hours ago. It's For those that do not know, it's an enrichment site for supposedly their nuclear plants, to my understanding. Fordow, Natanz, and these 3 cities. I don't know how to pronounce them. All planes are now outside of Iran's airspace, and a full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So again, for everyone that said the U.S. was never getting involved, let this be made very clear. Trump ran on the policy of no war. Trump ran on the policy of, I can stop the Ukraine and Russian war within 24 to 48 hours. I think he said like his first day in office. First off, that is still going on. Second, Israel and Gaza or Palestine were still having issues or are still having issues. And then now this war broke out. Not only did another war break out, but the U.S. has officially gotten involved. Not indirectly, supposedly through conspiracy, through Israel, but has officially gotten involved. I hope that I'm not a fan of war. I think that it's disgraceful that young Americans or just Americans as a whole their lives are lost based off of a conflict between political figures. It's disgusting, right? I think we could all agree on that because these individuals that are fighting one another truly have, other than the country that they represent, have nothing against one another, but nonetheless, they're fighting on behalf of their country and the politicians that send them there, and it baffles me, and it's so insane. I really hope, for the sake of everyone, that by taking out these 3 supposed nuclear sites, that it could all be done. I hope that the statement is true. Now is the time for peace. But based off of what we've heard from Iran, and this was earlier today, a senior Iranian official, if it's a choice between halting uranium enrichment and going to war, we choose war. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But right off the bat, again, this is all we know so far. They're just updates, obviously, from what Trump has said. Overall markets are closed, so there's only so much that I can tell you based off of how we think that the markets are going to react. But obviously, this is not a positive thing for the overall market. This is a negative thing. And as soon as this report was released or this news was released, markets began to turn lower. So we'll see. We'll see based off of where we currently closed for overall markets on Friday, where they open up on Monday. I'll do my part in making sure that I keep you guys up to date as soon as we begin to learn more, if things continue to develop, if there's more updates. Again, all I literally ask you to do is subscribe to the channel and drop a thumbs up. NASDAQ market is at 526. We'll see if this is finally the confirmation that we needed for the market to break its support and begin to downturn, because we all know the market does not belong at these inflated levels. It has not earned it. Trade war is escalating. The U.S. is officially involved. There is no trade war not trade war is escalating. War is escalating. Trade war updates have not been presented. What happened to this, 1 week or 2 week extension, and then every country had to submit? Again, it's just all talk and nothing to back it up. Extension after extension. We have no agreement signed with any country, not China, not the UK, not Canada, and not Mexico. Just extensions and talks and hopes and dreams are what have pumped the market to current highs. And again, for what? There's nothing that has actually been signed. We have our inflation still rising, our deficit still rising, and the Federal Reserve not cutting rates by any means, meaning that it's more expensive to borrow money. What is thriving in this economy other than the stock market? Because we all know that the stock market is not a direct representation of our economy, but it's how investors perceive our economy to be doing in the future. It is a leading indicator. So again, I want to leave you with that. Markets are overbought. We now have confirmation of the US getting involved. And as things continue to develop, I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date. I'll see you on Monday for our live trading session. You don't want to miss it. Again, I don't want to say that it's going to be a lot of fun, obviously, with the scenario and what it is that's presenting itself. But as a trader, we will do our part in seeking opportunity, depending if markets downturn or if markets somehow begin to recover, then maybe it will be a dip by opportunity if things actually begin to get better. In some form of a weird way. Markets are so irrational right now. I don't want to ignore that possibility. So again, I'll keep you guys posted. All the links are down in the description. I appreciate you guys' time. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.